Welcome, everybody. Hell to Play, episode 10. Milestone episode for us with a milestone guest. Our good buddy, great friend, friend of all of ours, Christopher North, joined us out in Los Angeles via the power of Skype. I think we kind of worked out a couple technical errors, too, so it sounded pretty good. Fantastic conversation.
Yeah, Chris, we really appreciate you coming on. We tried to talk about the dark side of Hollywood at the beginning, but in classic Chris fashion, he had nothing but positive energy to bring to the pod, and we ended up having a really, really energetic discussion, and we were able to bring a beacon of light in some of these dark times.
Yeah, be on the lookout for his new movie, Dark Arrows. We'll have the link to the trailer in the description. Hope you enjoy the episode.
But yeah, dude, this is Hell to Play X.
Yeah, double
Episode 10. Yeah.
Wait, where's the theme music? I thought there was going to be like a or something.
How dare you?
A live band.
That's Carp City. But since you brought it up, we got to say a big thank you to Jacob George from the mighty STFU, Blood and Blood Out. Chris, you know, we use a little Shut the Fuck Up tune on for the intro of Hell to Play. So
yeah, we throw that in.
I thought that would just that as soon as I logged on here, that would just automatically play, and this is how let me just say how I saw this going.
All right,
is that there would be music playing, and we would all be walking in like wrestlers to an arena.
Well, I mean, that's what we did.
So,
yeah. I mean,
the
three of us did that. Yeah, I don't
we
know.
cut our own intros. We cut our own intros after. Yeah, sorry. So
I think I had some technical issues, some IT problems. That's probably why I missed that.
Oh,
all right.
man,
so you're
no
saying
big
we've already not met your expectations. We're already lowered We're at lower expectations right now.
Yeah, it can only go up from here.
I'm kind of bummed that Chris had any expectations, especially high ones. But that's okay. Chris, thank you for joining us. You look great.
Many blessings.
Oh man, many. Yeah.
Thank you.
The screen just froze with
I
your
sure
big
do.
smile for a second, so I got nervous. I'm like, shit, he left already. But
So that you start complimenting me, that's about what's going to happen.
I see you have the whiteboard behind you with zero show notes.
You know. I erased everything on it probably 7 months ago. Keep the expectations low around here.
Just after you figured out the cure for COVID-19, then you erased it all.
Yeah, man. I put it all on here, and then, immediately I was like, "This is a great opportunity for me to stay home for a little while. I might as well just keep this to myself." Took a screenshot of it though before I erased it. It's in an undisclosed location.
Oh, we have a call coming in from HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton right now. She wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
She has been trying to get a hold of me all day. Leave me alone.
Oh man.
So, jump right into it? How's the left coast handling this? Since we're not tied into that. How's it going out there, man?
Oh man, well, probably it feels like at this point the novelty has worn off. The shine has worn off the penny. The memes have slowed down somewhat. It's like the honeymoon phase of like, ooh, this is new. Haha. It's turned into like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
so
but
that's kind of fun.
2 weeks ago already you were saying that it was socially unacceptable to even be really outside recreationally, right? I mean, that happened pretty quick.
Yeah, so there's like you get the right people pulling the right levers, and it was it almost felt like a completely socially unacceptable. If somebody saw you in public, they were like I went to the gym. My last class that I did at the gym was on Sunday, like 3 weeks ago, and there's like 2 of us in the class, and we were all kind of like embarrassed that we were there. like, oh yeah, like we're not taking this seriously. That was the last thing I did. But like, yeah, it was just like, it's been a while here. Now it's today's day for us. It's day 17 of like total shutdown, lock-in situation. So nothing new here.
Man, but you, so I was just talking to you the other day, and my big question for you, working in the entertainment industry, was, will Hollywood recover?
Yeah, to which I responded so eloquently. I said, probably not.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but all production is shut down. Oh, actually, you gave me a really good answer, which I hadn't really thought of. You were talking about how basically everybody's on, or Hollywood just gave everybody a 6-week break to, well, hopefully 6 weeks to catch up on all the shows that they would ever want to watch.
Yeah,
And that there's gonna be some.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the biggest complaints, I don't think it's any different here than it is in most places. One of the biggest complaints is time. Nobody's got the time to finish their script. Nobody's got the time. This is like, there's like 2 sides to this. Like nobody's got the time to catch up on all the shows that are like so relevant to catch up on and present. Nobody has the time. Like there's so many shows. Like how many shows do you guys have in your queue that you just never have time to watch? I mean, that's every one of us, I think. And they're not bad shows. They're all like good shows. Well, it's like the world just gave us all hopefully a 6-week break. It's like, what are we all doing? But streaming everything.
Yeah, burning books and watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Burning books, watching Netflix.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, so and like the demand. So what I think I was saying in the text is like, I think 2 things. Not only will Hollywood recover, but it'll probably maintain its strength. It'll probably transform a little bit, like anything. But even like if you look at like past recessions, the Depression and then the recession, Hollywood soared during those times because it's a break from reality. People want to escape and get away. Is like now people are going like, yeah, but like people can't go to the theater. It's like that doesn't matter anymore. Like the theater is.
Well, totally.
So will the theater industry die because of this? The physical theater.
Man, I super hope not. It's like such a great experience that.
Well, they've kind of turned it into more of an experience now too. With like every theater now has like the bar and lounge and restaurant, and like it's so much more than like just the movies. Like just the movie theaters kind of going away a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Well, I got a 2-part question for you here, Chris. First of all, did the people, and I immediately think Tiger King, obviously, did the people that released shows right before quarantine, did they know that something was going on? And because Tiger King had to have known, because they have been the ones that have benefited the most from this. I'm not going to go into Amazon or anything. The producers of Tiger King have benefited the most from this. That's no doubter. And should I expect nothing but pure murder coming out of Hollywood after this? Just because with all the time, it should just be nothing but flame from here on for the next year or so. Nothing but just the most fire content.
They just moved up that just like a, I don't know, like 10-part series or whatever of the Bulls documentary. They moved that up.
Oh yeah,
so it's releasing in like a couple of weeks instead of a couple months. So
yeah. So did guys like obviously Tiger King and then like Tom Segura released a Netflix special. So did Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did those guys know that this was coming? Because it couldn't have been any better planned.
Man, there was something that was going to drop right, like, because there's stuff dropping all the time. So like something was going to drop right before this happened, and I think, in my opinion, it was just happened to be that. Was it scheduled? Whatever. Will they benefit? Sure. Who's really benefiting is like Netflix, because Netflix has a brilliant business model where they don't let people know how well their films do, how well their series does. Like they won't let them know. They won't, because then they can't use. Like if I am if I'm famous in any way, shape, or form,
And you are.
I can use all of my, I can use my social pull. If I'm like an A-list actor, I can use my social pull to demand a higher, fee for my film. Well, if I don't know how my film did, I can't use my ratings to bid and like advocate for myself against Netflix. So they just so they keep all of their numbers super secret. And obviously then there's like the cultural phenomenon that like Tiger King producers and now it's like they're going to have some clout for sure. Did they plan it? I don't think you can ever. I don't like this is especially in the case of Tiger King. How many years in advance? He's like, you know what's coming? A pandemic's coming right around March 2020.
Chris, this is hell to play. You just say yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was definitely because he started filming this 6 years before was released. But I mean, it is fairly coincidental that didn't Barack Obama become like a programming guy on Netflix not that long ago?
He knew.
Man, I should listen to this podcast more because I'll probably learn way more about the like what's happening 4 miles away from my house by listening to you guys.
Yeah, man. What is so you said like the whole not letting people know how well their show is doing. What was with the new rating, like the number 1 in the country thing? What was with that? That just popped up out of nowhere.
Number 1 in the country.
Like where they rate the shows. This show's doing number 1 in the country, 1 through 10 right now. What's up with that?
Oh man, here's what you should know about me. Is I know I'm here. Let me just be the worst Hollywood correspondent that you've ever had. I have no idea. I have been in my house working. I bought my first house in LA finally this last year, which was like a huge gift right before the market crashed. I did that in 2000. I bought my first house for point of reference, John, you remember this, in 2005.
Could you prove that? Could I see the deed?
Yeah.
You know what? I sold it. You know when I sold it? 2007, which was a great time to sell a house. Nope.
You created the market crash.
Right. Also, Chris, I remember burning that deed in a fire in your backyard.
That did transpire. You got like half of it though. I pulled it out. I was able to pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
In other
Good
news,
save.
John did burn to my house. But yeah, so I bought a place right before the market crashed. I did the same here. The whole point is it took the government telling me I'm not allowed to go outside anymore to finally hang a TV.
Oh, yeah.
So,
nice.
Nice.
Good
Yeah,
job,
right on.
Chris.
Yeah,
Very good.
Good on you. Home improvement.
So I am so dramatically out of touch. This is what's really fun. By the way, like I get to produce movies and content and like do all this fun stuff. That's all great. If you ask me anything about Hollywood, chances are you're going to get the most blank stare because I just have no idea.
Huh.
All right.
That's
so,
interesting.
Questions.
So we'll just move right ahead through. We'll skip here, page through. Elite
pedophile rings.
Yeah, we'll move right to Tom Hanks then, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts on that, Dustin? You want to grill this guy about?
No, I'm missing on every question right now.
Oh, man.
On how Tom Hanks doesn't actually have coronavirus?
Yeah, and how?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
now you're
yeah.
sprechen. Now you're sprechen.
Is he in custody?
I mean, Australia is a full-on island full of criminals.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, that's not true. I heard it from my Australian friends first. They're like, yeah, basically this is where they shipped every criminal from every colony. They're
Well,
like,
that is
Yeah,
legit
that's
how they got their start, right?
That's
I mean,
factual. That's factual.
well, I mean, so really, you have your answer right there, DL.
All right.
In my opinion, Tom Hanks is essentially in custody.
Interesting. So what you're saying is, if I could just, ball that up into one very quick, very on point sentence, is that Australia is just a giant super jail, and that's all it's ever been.
Yeah.
Just the
that's how I heard it.
nicest
Yeah, that's
super
what I got.
jail I've ever been to.
Well, just the coast, though. Have you been inland?
You know what? That's a legitimate point. I have been inland, and I'll I want to temper my last statement with in light of,
And that's all the time we have. Please continue.
So Jackson, how's school? What's
Dude,
that?
it's fucking
you
terrible.
doing?
Yeah, no. Dude,
Tell 'em-
it's so
tell 'em about what you're
confusing
doing.
because you just have teachers emailing you, just submitting assignments in like 4 different websites, and it's it's just like a train wreck. I don't even think the teachers care. Half of them don't. Like, it's whatever.
They never
though.
did. It's just now. It's just obvious.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, we're
Okay.
doing like some video calls, through email. We can contact them if we need help. But for
So
like,
what you're saying is that
yeah.
your teachers have not driven by your house to honk and wave?
No, I thought they were gonna I thought I was gonna be able to like Grubhub them and Grubhub them, and I'm like, can I get some like homework help? And like them stop by, them help me, and then they head
show
out,
up in
but
a
they didn't.
hazmat suit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
want to kick it with your old man.
Yeah, but what about those viral videos I've been seeing? The guy with the whiteboard outside the window. They asked for a question. He showed up. That's not happening?
No, it's not happening.
Oh, man. Wow.
Can you Grubhub school lunch? I mean,
That'd be a moneymaker. Yeah.
I'd have been getting some WHS chicken nuggets and mashed potatoes and gravy. No doubt. What?
dude,
That's
there
a
was
good
a time.
idea.
There was a time where they ordered Pizza Hut pizza for WHS lunch, and that was a terrible idea, but it was delicious.
Yeah, agreed.
I look forward to it. Wait, so they haven't canceled school for the rest of the year there yet, like
Not-
they have here, yeah?
No, not officially. I think it's April 24th. It was April 6th, then they moved it up to April 24th. But are we going
Yeah,
to
but
be at
now-
school for 1 month?
But they've already moved that again, I think, to April 30th, or at least
They might have, yeah.
That's for me being closed, the shop being
Mm-hmm.
closed, and
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that. And I'm sure you're in the same boat too. It's like I have a hard time believing they're firm on any kind of deadline. It's going to keep getting pushed back. I mean,
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
guess I say
no
that
school.
hoping I'm jinxing it, but I don't
Well,
know,
they missed,
man.
They
I don't,
missed the first one, so I mean the precedent's already been set. They've missed the first, so
Well, yeah, it was a firm like April 6th,
Mhm.
and this was a couple weeks ago,
Yep.
and then they changed it to the
Easter.
25th or
well
26th.
they wanted Easter.
Well, and then they went from like, oh yeah, Easter, and then the 25th, and then they went from like the 25th to the 30th in like a couple days. It's like, what'd you need a couple days for? Like, what
Yeah.
what happened here? So
Well, they needed to make that sign that Pence held up that said "Stay at home 30" or something like that. So they had to have time to print that picture out so that he could hold it up in his conference. So it's just natural.
it was on one of them old school printers with like the holes on both sides, like the the old
Yeah,
laser
Xerox isn't essential. They had to get somebody in on that one.
jet. It's a little more official.
Jackson, we'll tell you later. He
Yeah.
has no
All
idea.
right. No, I gave him a look.
He's like dot matrix. Am I right?
There's my dad just dating himself again. Fucking
Dude.
idiot.
That mustache is dating you, boy.
Oh man, come
Dude,
on.
they've completely canceled school here, so
I heard that.
like
Yeah.
they're not going back.
Well, so you were one of the last just vigilantes going to the gym, and I mean, are you catching looks when you're on the way there or on the way out? I mean, what are you doing for fun? Because that's the other thing too. Is,
No,
we're
dude.
out in the Midwest, so it's. I feel like me, you, and old Lubers are on the Marco Polo right now talking to each other, and I feel like everything we're getting that is going on in major cities like New York and LA is so sensationalized in the media, which I'm not really paying attention to anyway. So what's really going on?
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be interesting to hear what the media is saying about it, but it's not. Man, I don't know if it's sensationalized or if it's just reporting on what's happening. Like hospitals are overrun. Obviously, it's like all the same stuff that you guys are probably hearing. But like here, like I'm not catching any looks. But it is like people aren't like making eye contact. It's weird to go outside because like there's because you will see people, but they treat you differently. they treat you like you're a disease, and like you find yourself treating them like they're a disease, and like, I mean, we grew up with the statement like avoid it like the plague, and like now we're just doing that to each other. I went to the bank today, and then I went to the grocery store, right, because I was out of avocados, and I was like middle of the day, best time to go, you know.
Sounds like an essential trip. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, the bank was, because I had money to put in, but I have another complaint about that. The bank that I go to doesn't allow mobile deposits over like $2,500, and so I had to go to the bank.
I've never had that
Yeah,
problem.
that's
Subtle flex.
That's a super duper flex.
It's a subtle.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually,
yeah.
mine will only allow me a minimum of $2,500. I have to make a deposit over $2,500.
Y'all need a new bank.
Okay, my bank, edit that. My bank won't allow deposits over a certain dollar amount, and so yeah, like I had to go to the bank to deposit this. First of all, I blame the client that hired us, because they're still sending paper checks. Like, just wire it. It's whatever. Secondly, yeah, so I went to the grocery store, and I went to like walk in, and two people stopped me with masks and were like, no, like, get in line. And then I realized that there was a line outside. They were like rationing time, and
so there's a
people
limit to amount of people, and you have a time limit.
Whoa.
Wait,
Yeah,
did you walk
not a
into a
time
game
limit.
show?
Yeah, was this a super shopper thing? Did you have $10,000 and you had to
Yeah.
spend it in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
I could have done it for sure. Avocados are expensive, man. Just that's $10,000 right there.
Oh, Chris. Okay, now I have to ask you about your avocado purchasing, because I went to the grocery store with my wife the other day, and talk about someone who is breaking all the rules. You know how do you check for ripeness on an avocado?
Oh, see, no, you're already behind.
You
You're
like
already
it.
behind, John. So the thing about avocados when I buy them is you just get whatever green you can get. You don't buy the ripe ones. And then you buy enough of them that they get ripe over time. So there's a constant, steady flow of ripe avocados at your house.
Okay, well,
Like
my
bananas.
wife
Yeah.
my wife
Green.
just rudely molested every single avocado during this delicate time, just touching every single one.
Did she flick the top off to see if it was green?
Yeah, she's dropping them on the ground, throwing them back on there. I mean, but that's a way better way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. It's like being caught without toilet paper, which, John, you and I have actually had that experience. I had to make a phone call one time.
I do remember that.
And
Chris was
and,
one of my first roommate, and he called me up one day. Or do you mind, Chris? Or you can go ahead and tell us. I guess it's not much of a story. but,
Please. Go right ahead.
we're kind of just figuring this out together, but he gives me a call and he's like, hey, if you're on your way back, would you mind swinging by the store and grabbing some TP? He's like, oh yeah, sure. We're out? Yeah, we're out. I went in the bathroom to drop a deuce, came out a fully showered man. Said, okay, got it. I understand.
I think my biggest question on that one was who used the last square.
Tim. It was Tim.
Oh, it had to be Tim.
Definitely, that's a Tim move.
So I took that as Chris walked into the bathroom, saw that there was no TP, so then just dropped a deuce in the shower and just waffle stomped her right down the drain.
The shower just turned into an IHOP, bitch.
I've never heard waffle stomp.
Well, you're obviously not shitting in the shower enough, bro.
What do you mean you ever heard of it? You invented it.
Have some kids, you'll learn to waffle stomp a turd pretty quick, bro.
You'd be amazed at what you can waffle stomp down one of them.
You just
drains.
stop using your feet at some point.
Oh, gosh, man, I don't remember that experience. I just remember John telling that experience like later on in life, which is pretty much how it happens. I don't remember anything. So you can pretty much tell me anything happened and I believe it. So
That's why I thought you'd be an awesome guest for our tiny little podcast here. He knows nothing, remembers nothing. Current events? Nah, not really.
Lives in the epicenter of one of the biggest cities in the world.
Guys, just rubbing elbows with
gonna
who the fuck knows. He doesn't know.
I thought I'd just hold up the laptop and show you guys what's happening outside, and then you just report on that.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do
interested.
it. Yeah.
So what is?
Actually,
No, go ahead, man.
actually, I live in a very different neighborhood. I live there's like the wealthy neighborhoods, and the way that LA is kind of set up is that like it tips heavy wealthy west, less wealthy the further east you get. And I live in, just for some point of reference, I live in the furthest east neighborhood in Los Angeles. And so I live in it's like all of the rich, wealthy people who can just be like, oh yeah, like we stay at home all day anyway. This is totally fine. What's happening? We don't care. All the way over to my side of town where they're literally throwing house parties and no one's taking it seriously at all. So like the schools and everything are shut down. So there's just like people everywhere. At least like in houses and neighborhoods. I can't, like, there's parties. I could literally probably pick up the laptop and show you like a group of kids hanging out.
Dude,
like the social distancing thing over here.
That's
not
what
happening.
I'm talking about.
That's
like,
what we're talking about.
I think that's what a lot of people are doing. I remember I was talking to Mark, so I started a Marco Polo between the three of us because
I don't know what the hell Marco Polo is, but that's cool.
Oh, I don't know. It's just like video bullshit, text messaging. But Mark's in New York, Chris is in LA, and I just figured, what the hell? Let's get a little something going. So just the other day, but anyways, like, kind of curious. The same thing with him, and he was saying the same thing. I mean, you can go outside, and people are going outside for walks and stuff. He's like, yeah, right outside my window, I can pretty much see a basketball court, and dudes are like hanging out playing basketball every day. Like, it seems like it's kind of people aren't taking it seriously.
Yeah,
but how? I'm sure it's not 85-year-old men, maybe. That are playing basketball outside. It's probably dudes in their 20s and 30s or teenagers that are like hanging out playing basketball. That, I mean, if you catch this fucking virus, if you catch the virus, you don't just fall over and die.
That's correct.
But that is almost what we're led to believe here, and people are losing their shit over it.
Yeah, it was a great point of reference. Fox News had because they just set up a triage center in Central Park. And so they had the triage in the back, and then they had the news anchor, newscaster. He had to have been a couple hundred yards away, but he was wearing one of those duckbill dust masks, which they're dust masks. If you're not wearing an N95 filter, you're wearing a dust mask, and it's only good to filter the stuff coming out of your nose, not what's going in. But as he's talking about how important this is, no less than 10 people bicycle past him.
Shit!
Just this is normal everyday stuff. Just going between him and the triage center, just biking past, and it's just like
ring, 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 ring.
I was like, this couldn't take any more of your thunder away from your fucking fear mongering than these people just hanging out, fucking biking like they do every day.
Dude, it is. I mean, it's like, I guess I just have to hit this point because I brought it up on the last time we got together. We ended up like chopping it because I brought it up to begin with. But Chris, you know this. I work for a gigantic ass logistics company, we'll call it, and it's a part-time job. I've been there forever, but all these people that are, doing their virtue signaling, screaming at everybody to stay inside, and it's not that you shouldn't take this seriously. Of course, you should take this seriously, Like, this is just so surreal, everything that's going on right now. But also, you better be making only essential purchases if you're one of those people on their fucking soapbox screaming at everybody to stay inside all the time, because there are people going to work every day, including delivery drivers, your Amazon drivers. Like, packages don't just fucking, dudes that work at power plants. Like, there are essential employees. Now, are those essential employees, are they essential or are they expendable? Like, you're not just out in the world and just fucking, my man.
I like that.
Like, are we supposed to go to work every day thinking that we're putting ourselves and our family in jeopardy? Are you taking a acid bath every time you come home before you walk in the house? I mean, maybe just a little slip under the tongue. But I'm just saying, it's like people are, and I don't know what to believe. There's just too much stuff going on here, but you can't be sending millions and millions and millions of people to work every day if it's seriously so bad out there that you can't, pass a stranger in the grocery store and catch this. And if you are healthy, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, like the CDC is even running the CDC ad that's running in between, like, the Hulu ads and shit. Mm-hmm. It's just all the common sense warnings they've been saying the whole time for weeks. Wash your fucking hands. If you're over 65, probably should stay inside. You should know if you're at risk, if you have a compromised immune system. I mean, use your fucking head, basically. Like,
a lot of people don't know how to use their head, but
that's true. I'm just saying it's crazy, like, how many freedoms we've willingly just surrendered. But if you're a healthy, like, able-bodied person, you're not gonna. You might catch. Nobody wants to catch any virus or disease.
Every person should have their, like, take on their own responsibility, and handle the disease with their own
right,
their own caution.
Am I making sense? I'm trying not to sound like a dick. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you should be throwing caution to the wind and disregarding all warnings, but I'm saying you should know the warnings and just try to be as safe as possible. I just think
that's common sense. Yeah, that's for sure. You're right. Yeah, you're for sure right.
But also, we're in a very rural area out here. It's probably a billion times different in Los Angeles, where people are, on top of each other. And what do the roads look like, though? What's the traffic look like? What's that situation?
It's like weird. I have like a self-quarantine car edition at least like 3 or 4 times a week, because I just need to get out of my house. So I'll just drive around. Like, I'll get in my car and just drive, because I'll, like, listen to music or, like, make a phone call or whatever, but I just need to get out of my house. And there's, like, I've lived here 10 years, and, like, traffic just becomes like a way of life. It's just is. And it's bad all the time, and you're just kind of like, whatever. Well, like, I never realized how small Los Angeles is, because I can get to the beach from where I live in like 25 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. But, like, and I knew that, like, but I'm never going to the beach at like 2 a.m. And even then, sometimes, like, stack ups and, like, traffic, there's traffic everywhere. But, like, now it feels weird. I drove down Hollywood Boulevard the other day on Sunday or Monday to just, like, do one of these drives, and it was like there's maybe like 1 or 2 street vendors out like for no one, like, no one's there. They're just, like, playing their guitars, and
wow.
I was like, this is so sad. Like, do they know what's happening? I wonder if they wonder why no one's here.
Like the acoustics in an empty Hollywood Boulevard are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this guy. I also saw how do I even describe this? There was a very happy, probably like 6'4", like crazy cut, like probably one of the best shaped guys I've ever seen in real life. Like he just looked like a magazine wearing like a banana thong and rollerblades. And he had, this is what's awesome. He had gloves on, like kitchen dishwashing gloves.
Okay,
and a
all right.
mask.
Sounds like you're taking the proper precautions. Yeah.
Crazy long
Wait,
dreads.
Was his
and,
mask just a spare banana hammock?
Sounds like he took an acid bath before he left the house.
Dude, this guy was jamming. If you know anything about Hollywood Boulevard, all the stars, it's like that, like perfect for like. I would love to like skate down Hollywood Boulevard because like
I just had that thought today, dude, of like how great it would be to be like skating right now. Like no offices. You know, you're not getting kicked out of any office buildings if you're like
False. Over in Oconomowoc on my way over here, cop pulled over 3 kids skating in an empty parking lot. Cop had 3 kids talking to him. No fooling. I almost yelled "fuck the police," but I was like,
dude,
you said
that cop.
fuck teenagers.
I was like, I wouldn't pass a breathalyzer.
No, man. Here's what I make up is going on though, guys. Like that cop was super lonely at home. He's been self-quarantined for way too long. It was just like, you guys want to hang out? Like, you guys are out too? Like I had, that's what I think was happening.
Yeah, I might have missed a good social moment. He might have been like, "Hey, can I borrow your board? I'm about to fucking shred some fucking concrete." I might have missed it and just misjudged it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go with that. Chris,
okay.
that's a good call. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's probably wasn't it. Hey, you guys ever seen an armed officer do a heel flip?
You know what's interesting is there's it might be a fun game to play if you guys come out and visit. Is like we have costume houses out here that you can just, because I have my company, I have full access to just go in and like pick out like whole wardrobes. So we could quite potentially, and I can also rent cop cars. They're like $300 a day to rent. It's not that much. So it's super illegal, but we can definitely do it.
Oh my god! I can't
so,
believe
like,
you know cops that you can bribe for $300. Who are
Fine.
these guys?
Fair enough.
Oh, you did say East LA, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we could probably get some skateboards and get some officer gear and just skate wherever we want. Like, who's going to kick out armed officers?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you didn't say anything about the guns.
Oh no, you can rent those too. They're just not real. But also, we could probably get some real ones. That's a little more. I mean, it's illegal to leave the premises, whatever you're filming on, with. You have to like check it in and check it out. It's super illegal. And they have like for all the cop cars, they have the thing that covers the lights, so you can't drive the car without the cover on it. But I mean, like, what's going to happen? I've never tried, really.
I think that's called impersonating a police officer. I don't know. I'm game.
It's
Yeah.
semantics. It's semantics.
Is there a law against that?
Yeah,
It's a lawless country we live in right now.
that's true.
Boog, I thought of you yesterday. I was, you guys might not believe this. I was scrolling through Instagram aimlessly. I know, weird. And I came across, have you guys seen this, I'm probably so late to the game, it's embarrassing. This is my media, this is how I engage with media. The elephant toothpaste thing.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
Thank God.
Chris,
So-
blowing the lid
Yeah.
off of elephant toothpaste.
Here we go.
You heard it here second. It's like this chemical reaction with like water and food coloring, and then there's like some sort of like I think it's like hydrogen peroxide and some other like salt or whatever. I have no idea what this is. Anyway, if you put like a tiny bit in a test tube, it turns into like almost the whole desk in a classroom. Well, like some guys did it with like a trash can full, and it's like
I think I did see
it's
this.
huge. So you've probably seen it. So anyway, I thought of you yesterday, Klug, because I was like, man, if we would have known about this, we could have turned the entire fountain in Minneapolis
Oh man, what could have been?
into what could have been. And then I had the second thought of like, it's really not too late.
That is also true. Yeah. I mean, my legs still work. Chris?
Yeah.
I'm
As soon
in.
as I can book a flight, I'll be there.
Oh man. Yeah, that was dude, the dish soap in the fountains and creamer fires at Riverside Park. Those were never forget those two things. Maybe for any of our younger listeners that are I don't know, out of school and got nothing to do and still have access to the grocery store, go ahead and pick yourself up some non-dairy creamer. Have one of your friends hold a lighter, or maybe, I don't know, light a garbage can on fire. Sprinkle
That's usually the
some
way
of that
best.
non-dairy creamer just ever so slightly over the flame and watch that shit erupt. And then as it starts to catch fire, start shaking that canister up in the air and you will create one of the most gigantic balls of flame you've ever seen in your face. And it'll be gone in seconds. Enjoy.
It's like it never happened.
Yeah. As will your eyebrows
Most likely, yes.
and your mustache.
But yes, possibly.
All right. Yeah. Send us the links to your videos, please.
Yeah, the elephant toothpaste. Yeah.
I still got pictures of all of that. Also, anybody who's just potentially home and bored, at that same grocery store, buy as many of the cheap dish soap as you possibly can find, and just empty those into your nearest city park fountain.
Yeah, we're talking just
downtown.
regular Dawn dish soap, not detergent dish soap.
Yep.
Just a fun suggestion. If
And then
see a
just
fountain
sit back
running,
and watch the magic happen.
yeah, you'll make some
Or-
tiny little kid's day.
Yeah, or maybe get the heck out of there because you'll probably be arrested.
Yeah, that's don't do that. Well, Chris, we do delve into the conspiracy realm a little bit, and there's so many theories about what possibly could be going on, like behind the scenes here. But I guess I don't know where to take this because I don't want to hit you super hard with some weird stuff, but it does seem like there's a ton of weird stuff going on. Do you have any comments at all on what's going on with Ellen? What's going on with Tom Hanks? What's going on?
I mean, Harvey
with-
Weinstein just got arrested. So
Yeah, the
you got
Harvey
that, too.
Weinstein thing. Do you think that Harvey Weinstein just sung like a bird and just sold out like these supposed elite human trafficking, pedophile rings going down?
Man.
Do you believe there's pedophile rings? First of all,
Yeah, first of all, back me up. tell me
Yeah,
the news,
yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah. Late.
no. Do you believe there's Hollywood pedophile rings? I'm sure you do, right? Or
Man, tough to tell. I would not be surprised at all.
okay.
There's definitely some creepy things
But
that can
yeah,
go
and it's
down
also not
in the
new.
industry,
Like
right?
that.
No,
that's like
totally.
the whole like Corey Feldman. Is that his name?
Yep,
Corey
yeah.
Feldman is like that's like his whole. Like, I mean, I don't know if he's like just proving how messed up like Hollywood can make a person, but like
Well, there's been so many guys like that, and I mean the there's more in the
Oh,
fridge.
yeah. I'm good.
Um,
can I get one of those or
yeah.
did you?
No, I think we were actually just talking about that. I think the last time we got together, how like I think that dude's allowed to speak, and some of the stuff he's saying is so quote unquote far fetched that maybe they're just letting him talk since that dude has obviously been completely disturbed by his experiences. You know what I mean? So maybe they're just letting him go as like a torture. Like nobody's gonna believe you. Everybody thinks you're crazy. And the Harvey Weinstein stuff, yeah, totally, it's nothing new, right? And it's not hard to believe because, I mean, I'm Hollywood's full of a lot of desperate people that would do anything to make it, right? So you get a creep like Harvey Weinstein in there that's willing to pull some strings if you do some gross shit with him. And how many people are probably like, you know what? I am not proud of this, but I'll do whatever it takes. Like, I'll do whatever it takes to be the next big thing. You know what I mean? Like, I assume that's what you're saying by, like, it's nothing new. Like, we've all seen the writing on the wall. It's just kind of how it goes. So
I mean, it goes back to, like, the Black Dahlia murder. You know, like that. I mean, that was the sex rings in Hollywood. You know, the do something strange for a little piece of change. You know?
I've never heard that, but yes, do something strange for.
All right, so there's two things you got to take away from this: waffle stomping and something strange.
Let me take notes over here. This is the hot goss I need, guys.
Yeah.
This is,
Dude, you got to bring some of that Midwest slang to back to the West Coast.
nobody will listen to me. I can't go out of my house.
This is true.
And if I'm putting you on the spot at all, and if I'm not making sense, stop me. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. It's just
Not at all. See, I think the thing that would make me more uncomfortable is how out of touch, because I hear all this stuff and it's like it's always like buzzing and people are talking about it and they know the intimate details and I'm like, there is nothing I'm going to do about the intimate details, so I tune out totally.
yeah.
And so
Well,
I'm
there's
like,
just some
but
huge
we
names that have been
we hear
thrown
about
around.
the cannibalism, like the cannibal stuff, like the super hot, like,
Adrenochrome.
rich cannibalism, because they're just like they can't buy anything else, like they can't scratch
what?
that, like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The adrenochrome. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
going hard
Mhm.
right now.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Exactly,
now we're on the same. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so it's like so the way I've experienced it here is like people, when it gets brought up as like this is definitely like, well, obviously, like, yeah, this is a real thing, but also one of those like it's talked about, like coronavirus was talked about 3 weeks ago. It's like, yeah, that's a real thing. Of course it's a real thing, but it's not like nowhere close to anything that any of us are going to experience anywhere soon. Until, I mean, eventually, who knows? Maybe it'll come here and everybody will start eating each other. It's going to be a real problem. So.
What? Also, there was, you probably heard the name Isaac Cappy.
Nope.
Have you heard that? No.
Nope.
All right. Well,
Tell me about
he was like a. I don't want to call him a B-level actor. He was an actor. He had a couple of roles, but he was starting to talk loud about pedophile rings. He had actually talked about Seth Green. He said Seth Green and his wife they showed him a hidden room in their house where they had bunk beds and they would house kids and do evil stuff to them.
A torture chamber, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was also talks that he was being kind of MK Ultra. They were getting into his head and he would hear Phil Collins. I think it was, I don't remember what Phil Collins song it was, but he would say he would constantly hear Phil Collins in his head. And friends close to him were saying that, like, he was just going bonkers, bananas. Like, they would show up to his house and he would be like, you can't hear that, you can't hear that. And then one day he went to visit his mom in Arizona and quote unquote committed suicide. And then literally the next day, Tom Hanks posted a picture of a glove on the side of the road and said, "Roadkill?" I hope not. Like, from the same road in Arizona.
This was like right after he named some big names like Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg.
The Seth Green stuff was just
the Seth Green
damning. That was like,
well, that he like
in his
experienced
house
himself, but I guess the hope right now, or like there's this underlying narrative that right now what might be going on, and this is all, we're not hook, line, and sinker on anything here, but that a lot of these rings are actually like getting taken down right now. After, the whole Epstein thing, Weinstein has his trial. He was up for 50 years, gets 23 or 27 or whatever. So did he sell out a bunch of big names?
Then he suddenly
gets
coronavirus, so he's probably not even in jail anymore. He's probably in some quote unquote medical quarantine.
Right, and then and now just all this suspicious activity with Tom Hanks basically going dark, Ellen acting just super weird.
Possibly having a bracelet on one of her videos. You can see a house arrest bracelet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what does this mean for Chris? Well, we're taking down all the big names, and the small guys are going to rise up and take back over Hollywood. The good guys are coming, right? I mean, that's essentially what's happening.
Yeah, well, I think they've been here the whole time, if that's the case. There's, I know a bunch of them, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll have our shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically your path to just stardom looks like the freeway right now. It's wide open, and you need to be using this time right now to just come up with the best content.
We are.
And I mean, if you want to base a pretty awesome show about some dudes who are running a dope podcast, I mean, feel free.
We have so many references for you. We could probably think of so many other guys that... Anyways. Yeah, you must have 1,000 irons in the fire right now, right? I mean, you don't just sit idle out there. I know you don't.
No, maybe not 1,000, but I mean, I am actually part of the reason that I'm so out of touch with what's happening, and maybe this is probably not good, and I quote should be aware of what's happening, is that I'm just so focused. We're finishing the first movie that we produced. We got we're mostly done with that. We were supposed to go back and do reshoots. Obviously, John Jackson, you guys know, we were supposed to reshoot in April, and obviously that got pushed back. What's really cool is the lead in that, the co-lead, the lead female in that movie got another movie, and that one's already done and out, and then she got booked on another one. And so it's actually been messing with our schedule a little bit, along with the Corona thing. So so she'll actually have 2 movies out, which is kind of good for us. So
oh wow,
yeah, drop some names. You want to
awesome.
drop some names? Give us some names of the movies or where all of our fans can find them.
The movie that's coming out, the movie that we're doing is called Dark Arrows, which is an 1846 period piece which came literally because Eric, the director, and I, him and I wrote it, and then that he directed, I produced. We were sitting around one day, and I was like, dude, if we want to be for here, all this content for other people and whatever. I was like, I asked him a question. I was like, if we had to make a movie in a year with what resources we have available to us, could we do it? And we got a camera, we got some friends, we got creativity. Could we actually do it? And the answer was obviously, yeah. So then what's our excuse? So we went to work and started doing it. And that was about a year and a half ago.
That's
and now
crazy, man. That's
we
so awesome.
took on some investors. We had massive help with some camera houses, the biggest camera house in town helped us out. One of the production houses helped us out. Everybody came out and worked with us. It was probably one of the greatest experiences ever. And then we showed it to some people who are super invested in they're super excited about distributing it for us, and through companies that we all know, which is that was super fun. And then that attract more investors so we can go back and finish. So now we've got a bona fide movie that's happening.
Dude,
that just
that is
started
so
with
awesome.
what is a movie we could shoot literally in our backyard if we had to.
So the trailer's still up though, right? The trailer's still out. We can find
the
the trailer.
trailer's
Cool.
out. It's more of a visual teaser because the sound, we need to do some sound design, and some key story points were changing, which is really interesting. Like we shot a whole movie, then we watched the cut, and we're like, this isn't working. And for like a couple of things were not working. So we're like, let's go back and do it right. And so, and it's like super minor changes, but that make a huge difference. So we're going to do that hopefully now in June. We're going to be ready to shoot. And then we've got 2 more. We've got another one written that we're going to do. It's like a Christmas. We're going to make it a Christmas movie because it's just like a comedy, like family comedy, because we would like those checks every year.
Good call.
So,
Good call. That's just that's
Yeah.
business sense.
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger starring in this one?
Dude, I hope so, man. If we can get him and maybe like his reindeer can be his pets that he has at home. I forgot their names. Have you guys seen that video?
No. He owns reindeer?
Dude, he posted this video of he's posted several, but like he posted one in his kitchen or like dining room or something, and he's just like, he's just telling everybody to stay inside. He's like, everybody just stay inside and like mind your own business. But meanwhile he's got like a miniature horse and a donkey. I don't know what they are, but they're just like hanging out with him, like they're his pets that live in the house with him. And he's like, just ask these guys. And then he tries to like bring him in for a dude. It's so stupid. He tries to bring him in for a hug. Dude, he like he like puts him in a headlock and he's like, look, like these guys, we all love each other. And he like tries to bring him in, and they're like,
That's not very nice. That's not a very nice way to talk about Maria Shriver like that.
Oh, Dustin Lamb.
I assumed he would just talk about
it's pretty
like
hilarious.
I assumed he'd talk about staying in coronavirus like he did that one old clip of him from like the 90s where he's like, I don't care, I do what I want, I smoke cigars, you listen to your wives, I do whatever I want, I'm cool, you're not cool, and he's just smoking a cigar. You ever seen that clip? It's just peak Schwarzenegger.
Just hanging out with 2 donkeys, both smoking cigars too. Yeah, we what we want. Yeah. No, missed that.
So Dark Arrows, is there an Instagram
to
page
recap,
that we can follow at Dark Arrows or?
Yeah, I started an Instagram page for it, and then I realized I do not have the bandwidth when I'm working on a film to actually like populate that thing. So it's there for sure. You can see some pictures and some like behind the scenes stuff. But this next time that we go back, which is actually really exciting, I budgeted in I'm bringing on a documentary crew. We could do a whole podcast on just the stories that happen from producing an independent film, casting off of Facebook.
Give us a teaser.
Give us a teaser.
Give us a teaser.
We'd love to hear that.
Give us a salacious teaser.
Okay, here's one. All right, so there's like a lead like antagonist who is he's supposed to be the lead antagonist. Well, we cast a guy, and during the time that we were that he was supposed to be flying out to film, he was great. We like did a video. Like we never met him face to face, but he worked for the government, and he was living in North Dakota. But he was like, "Yeah, I'll be done with this post, and I'll be back, and me and my brother are gonna come out, and we're gonna be like, we're ready." And that was in January last year. So like right around like holiday time last year, he's like, "Yeah, man, like the government's shut down. Like I can't really like leave until they open the government back up or something." So like we were starting to film January 3rd of 2019, and he called us on January. I think it was like either like New Year's Day or like pretty much right around that time. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, the government's not open. Trump's not opening the government. I'm stuck here. I'm stranded. Like I have to stay at this post." So like we lost him 2 days before we were supposed to be filming. So we just had to go back to some other guy that we're like, maybe this guy will work. And so we cast him, but we never really like did our due diligence. We were just in a panic. So we brought him on, and he, like, I can't even begin to describe to you like the level of weird that this dude, well, he's a nice guy, super nice guy, super weirdo.
Don't worry, Chris.
Sounds like a lot of
chances are
friends.
Slim that he will hear this, but sounds like an awesome guy.
Yeah, he sounds cool.
It's a little weird.
He is.
Got it.
He really is. He will guarantee he'd never hear this. We had to drive 3 hours north and pick him up at like a subway that he'd got a ride to somehow. It was fascinating.
How did he get his
Anyway.
headshots to you?
What's
Facts.
that?
How did he get his headshots to you? Fax or what?
Dude, oh my gosh. I have the text messages that like it took forever to even, I was like, dude, you're gonna have to like, you're gonna have to
They
send
were like
this in a different way. Like, I
Walgreens
don't know.
security camera. Like he was taking pictures of the monitor. This is like you just took a selfie, dude. Yeah, yeah. That'd be more official.
Oh gosh, dude, you have one picture. Anyway, so this isn't even the best story. I'm saving the best for when I bring on the other two guys and just talk about this ridiculousness.
Okay. Finish
Anyway.
the shitty story.
Yeah, thanks for the
Yeah,
be
thanks,
real.
dude. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. So this dude, the first scene that he has, he's supposed to. It's a stunt scene, and he's like, I'm like trained in jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I know how to fight. I know how to like move, whatever. He's like, I can do whatever. And so the first scene, he's supposed to be like hatcheting a guy off a horse. Like he's a native. He's supposed to be a native warrior who's like just pissed at a slave driver bringing in slavery. So he like is supposed to attack this guy. It's so bad. Like, I mean, I can't even describe to you how. Imagine your most beloved grandmother, and you're like, all right, grandma, you have to like run at this guy and jump and like throw this cape off.
Okay,
like,
I'm there.
catch this guy off the horse. And then just imagine her doing that, and that's what this looked like. What now?
Oh no! So I'm also I'm all over the place here, but if I'm understanding this right, the slave driver was played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was riding one of those donkeys, and that's who he was supposed to hatch it off the horse.
That's exactly right.
And then my
That's
grandma
exactly
chopped
right.
up Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm there. I'm
Your
in there.
grandma did a better job.
Man, so this guy just
So-
didn't have the coordination to pull
No.
that stunt off.
Dude, he didn't have the
Realistically.
coordination like, for literally anything. Like, we were trying to tell him lines, like trying to feed him lines. Like, he just had nothing. There was nothing. Like, the lights were on, but no one was home. There was no acting.
Was this dude
no,
begging you though for like, sorry, I'm just, it's nerves. Like, give me another shot. I got it this time.
No, because that would mean that he was aware of how bad he was doing.
Okay.
Just owning it. Okay, that's the better part, that he's owning it and just walking around like he is just number one. That's fantastic.
Where's my trailer?
Got him a star.
Yeah.
So I go into so we're actually staying at Eric's house because we don't have any money. Like, we did this on ourselves. So we were staying at Eric's house, and I walk up. So I walk up and I like find him in his bedroom, and I'm like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "What are we gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know." But like, we're supposed to film with this guy for the next 3 weeks. And like, his next scene is scheduled for 7 a.m.
And
It's like
this dude
8,
is
9.
tanking your movie. He is just.
Meanwhile, he pops up from underneath the bed and says, "Guys, I'm crushing it. What's the problem?"
Yeah. I don't know who this poor asshole is you're thinking about firing, but I'll do it if you.
I'm carrying the scenes here.
My back's hurting.
Right.
So that's just a
So-
tip of the iceberg of what you had to deal with.
Yeah.
The
So
tip of the iceberg. So I had to fire him the next morning. So I was like, dude, we can't, like, he's tanking this whole thing. Like, it's not going to work. So we're like, what are we going to do? Like, we can't shoot with him. So we're like, well, what are we going to do? So we had one of our other friends who was he was showing up the next morning he was going to be an extra. He's going to be like a native warrior, like native warrior number 2 in the background. And we're like, he's got a shaved head. So we're like, let's put a wig on him and just like put him in the background out of focus. And so he shows up, and we're like, hey man, I know you're like just a friend. I know you're not an actor. I know you're not like trying to do this. I know you have a family. He's got 3 kids and a wife and a full-time job. And we're like, so how do you feel about like staying here for the next 3 weeks and being the lead role?
Oh, dude.
He's like, dude, I got a wife and kids. I got a wife, 3 kids, and a full-time job. I'm in, bro.
Yeah.
We're not-
Pay? Don't worry about it. I'll do it for free.
Dude, that is 100% what happened, and he's in the movie.
Oh,
So-
dude, that is crazy.
He's like, let me
Stepped
call
up.
my wife. Let me call the office. So he's like, yeah, I can work from home for the next few weeks, and my wife's gonna bring me some clothes.
Wow.
And so he slept on a couch,
What a
and we hung out.
stud.
Like,
Yeah, trooper.
yeah. So if you watch the trailer, he's the lead antagonist, like the lead native role antagonist in the film, and he was not supposed to be in the movie at all.
I
So-
immediately already relate with this guy being just a straight jobber, showing up, just like, hey guys, I'm ready to just get this 5 seconds of filming done, and I'm gonna, head back. I got a 6 a.m. shift. Like,
Really nice to see you guys, by the way.
so I'm already like in with this. I'm already relating with the villain on this movie. I haven't even seen it yet. I want to relate with him.
Yep.
Dude, what a
Yeah,
bad
and he
man.
killed it. He killed it, and he's actually been in a film since then too. Like he got the bug for it. Now he's like taking it and really making it happen. So,
Good for him.
but what was awesome is we had to draw straws for who was going to fire this guy because
Oh yeah, we
supposed
still
to
have this asshole to deal with. Yeah.
He's been here the whole time.
Yeah.
He's been here the whole time.
He's like, say,
He's
he's
been-
pretty good.
he's been sleeping on the couch the whole time. So like they're like, well, how are we going to get? He lives 3 hours away and doesn't have a car and doesn't drive. And so I was like, I'll order an
Classic
Uber
actor.
to be here at 6 a.m. and I'll wake him up and just tell him like, hey, the cherry to death's outside, man. You got to go.
Oh man, is that what you did? You just threw him in an Uber? That better have been an Uber Black at least. Some
XL.
oh man,
Dude, I
just,
woke him
just
up.
some
I woke him
patchouli
up.
smelling hippie in a Prius. Like, come on, let's get back here.
Wait, so you woke him up after just a night of just toasting to himself, just blackout drunk, just hungover. He was just cheersing himself, ready for his role the next day, and you just woke him up out of that dream and turned it into a nightmare.
He's like, "Yeah, Mom, we're filming right now." Yeah, no, I'm on set.
No,
yeah.
the
Wait,
director's-
I'm sorry, hold on.
Wait,
yeah,
the director's waking me up literally right now. We're gonna get a quick scene in real quick.
yeah. Oh, what was that, Chris? Oh, Mom, my car's outside. I'm ready to go. I gotta go.
Honey, is it an Uber Black? No, Mark, I gotta go.
Oh man, poor guy.
Oh, I thought about just being like, yeah, your car's outside, man. It's going to take you to set. We'll meet you there.
Oh, that'll be stone cold. Oh. So, what movies has he been in since? Tiger King? Yeah.
Is his name Joe Exotic?
Yeah. No, his name's Travis.
Oh, that was the first one. There were several.
Man.
We had a few. I'll send you guys some pictures. You can
Yeah,
post
dude.
them.
Yeah, please.
No, that's crazy though, man. Like, well, I've kind of been, obviously talking with you periodically through this whole process. It's just so bad, and the way you say it, it's like, okay, like we're gonna try to do this. So like, what kind of movie could we make with this kind of budget? And the trailer is insane. The trailer looks so good.
It's very
dude.
good. Yeah, I've seen. Oh yeah, I follow. Yeah, it was really good. Really good.
So,
Follow
yeah.
all the behind the scenes stuff. All the rain you guys went through. Rain all the time.
Gosh, dude, there was so much rain that there was literally right where we were filming. There was a flash flood, and like we were all getting the flash flood warnings on our phones. And we're like, all right, cool. Like everything was so wet. The only thing not wet was the camera, because the camera is like $500,000. So like
God.
everything is screwed except for the camera. Like everything. There was a time where like the sound guy almost fell into this rushing water that was going by because he was like being an idiot. That's on him.
Sounds like you shouldn't have let the original villain go. You should have used him as a human canopy to block
Yeah.
the camera.
How are you at being an
Rather
umbrella?
wet.
Yeah.
How absorbent are you?
I'd rather be wet. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Dude,
God,
you-
this guy can't catch a break.
Can't even be a human umbrella.
Yeah. Seriously,
Nah.
Chris?
Dude, it was the day not. It was the most insane thing I've ever done, and it's like one of the most rewarding too. It's super super crazy. Here's a hint for anybody who wants to make a movie. Don't make a movie that's a foreign language film that has three languages. It's got Spanish. I don't know the name of the native language, and then English. So it's like, you know how many people speak any of those languages? None people speak any of those languages. And they're like, don't do a film that has foreign language. Don't do a film that has like 36 locations. Don't do a film with animals, and don't do a film with children. Like, and don't do a period piece that you have to like make all your costumes. Like, do something that's like in your garage, because those are all the mistakes we made.
You did it all.
See, we knew you were one of the good guys, Chris. Leave the children out of it. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Man.
So
Yeah,
that's
hopefully
kind
it'll
of
be out this year. We were going to go to Cannes this year, but that got.
what? Whoa, you gonna go to Cannes?
Yeah, we're going to go to Cannes this year to just like meet people and hang out. And I had some good connections there to do some fun stuff.
well. That's
but
what
now
that's what
maybe
I was going to
it's,
ask. Yeah, so you still have, because you were supposed to be shooting March and April. Obviously, that's been pushed back. But do you even have like a realistic timeline of when this will hopefully be out?
So June is when we're hoping to film. We're gonna shoot for 3 more weeks. We don't need anywhere close to that time, hopefully, but it'll really give us the time to like do it right. And then it's not going to take much, man, because we've already got an edit going. So it's already in post. It's just kind of waiting for the new footage, and then we're just going to move some pieces around. And then it's a matter of like sound design and cleanup, score, color, and finishing, and it's done. And so we're hoping that it's completely finished by at least November would probably be the main push, and then ready to either go to festivals or do some screenings. We have some plan Bs already in place that to make sure that we get our money back, and hopefully then some, and get to like live to fight another day. We're calling this the demo that gets our band signed.
Yeah, dude.
So
Right on, yeah,
I
right on.
like it.
Right on.
yeah, so there's that, and then we got one more that's already written, and then 2 more that are on deck that are not written, but the concepts are there and they're pretty much beat out for like the way we want what we want.
Same dudes. It's kind of same core group, because it's you and Eric, right? Or that's the company, right? I mean, it's you two kind of working together.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So Eric and I have at least 3, if not 4, movies that we want to make in the next few years. Dark Arrows is the first of 4 at least. The next one is like the comedy, like the family comedy about a guy who's he's like a Vegas playboy in his like early 70s who runs out of money and has to go back and live with his semi-estranged daughter and her family in the Midwest in the middle of winter.
Starring Ice Cube.
We just put him. Yeah, we just
Say
put him
Ice
through
Cube
hell.
or Tom Klug?
No, oh, I like that one a lot
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Tom Klug would probably be great for the role.
He
He'd
would.
be great.
I'll talk to him about it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got his agent right here, Jackson Klug.
And then we have another comedy, and then another like super drama that's like more of like a super gritty like crime whatever. So kind of all over the board. But
Nice. So
maybe that way
amongst all these projects, have you still been able to focus a lot on your motivational coaching?
that's the like what like fills my days right now, man.
So how has that been?
Never been busier.
How has that been with this whole thing with obviously everybody being shut in and everything? I mean, it must be just.
Well, that's the reason I don't know anything about anything is because I've just been like my days have been completely slammed, like back to back with client calls, and so I've been nonstop. I started doing
He's back,
Chris. Yeah,
you know we're live streaming this right now.
no time for cartwheels.
Did you guys stop hearing me?
No.
So that's been like a major. That's been like these have been my absolute busiest months. March and April have been my busiest months for coaching work and doing. It's been wild. Like so many people came out of the woodwork to like start working with us, like do new contracts. And yeah, I did this thing like as soon as Corona hit and they shut everything down and like in the immediate like terror of like, oh my gosh, everything's wrong and everybody just lost their job and like all the bars and restaurants shut down and like all the service workers are out of work. I did should I pose here? I don't know.
These are some promo cuts.
I was trying to go under the radar with that.
Jackson and I totally posed.
Yeah. Yeah. I was taking pictures. I'll get a selfie with Chris.
There you go.
My stupid fucking mustache. Dude, I'm so sorry. Now I feel like a dick. I was trying to fly under the radar. Why'd you guys have to do that?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I saw Jackson pose. I
bad.
immediately posed.
I'm trying to discreetly take some pics with my boys.
I mean, I gotta look good. Yeah.
That's
Come on.
All right.
It's an image thing. All right, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
All right, go ahead. We were talking about dark arrows. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's right. Shut off.
Oh man, no. I have like I think I have 14 clients right now, which is crazy. That's a full load. But I did this in the original wake of like everybody losing their jobs. I posted a thing saying like I'm gonna do like donation only, like you can donate whatever, like all the way, like as little as you want or as much as you want. You can donate, and I'm gonna spend an hour with you and like coach you around your vision, around like some next steps, how you're getting in your own way, all this stuff. And I posted that, and all of the money then is going to go to a single mom who just lost her job. And we didn't know like at that time it was like rent was still due, and it still is. It's like you have to pay it back eventually. And so I was like, we just need to like start getting like generous. And so I grossly underestimated how many people would take me up on that. And I think my schedule filled up with like 20 calls in 6 days.
Whoa.
Of like,
wow.
So like 8 hours on top of my normal, with it like spread over. And now like I pushed it and now it's like been over like 9 days or something like that. I only coach 3 days a week. So it was just like,
I haven't accepted 20 calls in 6 years.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. So this lady's getting hooked up, getting taken care
yeah,
of.
we were able to, like, so yeah, everybody was super generous, and it's like it's good for me because it gives me reps on like helping people. It's good for them because they get clear on things that they weren't clear on before, and it's like that's like good for them. And then I get to raise some money to help this lady out, and it's looking like it's going to push hopefully towards like $2,000 of
nice
people donating money, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And like my network just grew. Like I got to talk to a business owner in Dubai yesterday who like was so excited about the call that they were up. I was like, what time is it where you're at? It was 1 a.m.
Wow.
She's like, yeah, I've just been waiting for this call. Like, this is the time I can get on your schedule. Let's do it. So that was really cool. Yeah, and like three new people have reached out to sign contracts with us, and like yeah. So I'm not letting any grass grow under my feet. That's for sure.
Right on, man. Yeah, you've been keeping a lot of positive posts on the gram and stuff. You know, it's
all positive.
Good. Yeah,
love
appreciate
it,
the positivity in this world of negativity right now, man.
I'm gonna throw you guys a zinger one day and just be like, everything sucks. Give up.
That's the one. That's the one I'm gonna share.
Just be like when I would write papers, Jackson. If you ever go to school again, you could probably try this. When you write papers, I just put in the middle of it, just be like, you're not even reading this shit, are you? You don't care about this at all. This is terrible. Like, and just to see if they'd highlight it and be like,
Oh yeah, I might try that. Yeah.
Jackson, all you need to know for future is TL colon DR. Too long, didn't read.
No, I always wonder because there's like 25, 30 students and they all write a 2-page paper. It's like, you're really going to spend like 7 hours reading all these?
Yeah,
exactly.
that sounds like the shittiest book ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all in the same thing. They all give you the same thing to write about. So.
Same thing
Yeah.
every year. Oh, God, these kids.
Somebody needs to like really just like put themselves out there and just be like, read a paper, make a perfect title page and everything going well, and then just put what he said, assuming that they're not the first one that wrote the paper. Yeah, like what he said.
You just gotta hope that you get under the guy with a good grade, though.
Yeah, that's true. Because that might be a strong flex, and you might like just get an A for really putting yourself out there.
Yeah, probably worth the gamble. I mean, they might respect just the, like the what he said. Maybe they'll go back and the guy before you had just a horrible paper.
Yeah.
But then the teacher looks under a microscope since the guy doubled down on it.
Yeah.
And then he actually ends up finding all this symbolism in the paper, kind of makes up his own shit in his own head. That's probably what would happen.
Yeah.
It's like, I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Both you guys,
Teachers, pay attention.
A+.
Yeah. Any teachers out there, please take these notes, please. So you've been doing like
Take
Zoom
notes.
classes, Jackson?
No, we personally haven't been.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, Zoom is just malware anyway.
Yeah, wasn't that? Yeah,
That was a
it
post.
just came out.
That was a
Yeah.
post. Do you do, Chris, do you have video conferences or are these phone conferences?
A little of both. It's mostly we do Zoom. I've been doing Zoom for like 2 years.
I take back everything I said about Zoom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Zoom's great.
I don't-
Yeah,
we just got, like Zoom bombing or whatever. Like
You just call random people. You just call random people that you get their number for.
no, like somebody like will be on a video call with like a bunch of people and they'll use Zoom to like hack into the host system.
Yeah.
And they call it Zoom
right.
bombing.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, you guys really missed a freaking great opportunity. Just call it a Zoom boom. Like, don't call it a Zoom bomb.
Man.
Yeah, Zoom booming. Come on. That's why you need to hire Christopher North here.
Yeah.
You gotta get the Zoom booms.
Man, that is gold
Zoomers.
right there. That's free gold for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Any of those Zoom executives that are listening to this pod right now.
I will say I haven't checked today, but I bought Zoom. I bought Zoom at the right time, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Zoom. You know, like I said,
Zoom.
Tiger King was number 1 to come out of this. Zoom is definitely a strong 1B. If Tiger King is 1A, Zoom is 1B.
What
Although
you got,
they're down
Chris?
11% today.
What?
So 11% down today, which is
That's
It's because of that Zoom bomb. If they said Zoom boom, people would be like, fuck it. Sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
What are they at right now? What are they at right now?
like 124, I think, or something like that.
Ooh,
and you
okay.
got in at what, like 36, I assume.
Sense.
No, I got it. I don't even remember. Sub 100.
That's
Back in
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's sweet.
But it's because we've been using Zoom for a while, so like somewhere like 87 or something like that, which is whatever.
So when
Either way.
when do you see this opening up so you guys can start doing filming? When do you see the streets opening up for you? What have you guys been hearing out
question.
there?
Is there an end in sight?
And also, is there an end in sight? And also, why? I mean, this might be a little too much, but why is New York suffering so much while LA seems to be thriving?
Yeah, good question. Well, one is just like lifestyle. So I've lived in New York too, and like the amount of contact that you have with humans in New York versus LA is like everybody's in their car. They're already quarantined in LA. It's just like
Right.
freaking subway.
Like basically purifying themselves with exhaust fumes.
That is a great point. That's
between
a great
commutes.
point.
It's plus like people in LA don't have like jobs, so like nobody's got anywhere to go. Like there's like a few people that are like, oh yeah, like I don't know. There's
Well, no,
people
you're
have jobs.
but, well, that is true though. Like work from home. Duh. Yeah.
Like, yeah, so
Where else would you work?
Yeah.
So like in New York, yeah. So like in New York, everybody's like, of course, it's gonna cripple New York so much faster. Everybody's like breathing each other's air all day, every day, and like it's so confined. And that's like the same thing in like New York's just it's not like on the world scale, it's not a huge city. So, but like everybody's in such. If you ride the subway at rush hour in New York, you were like literally standing with your body on somebody else's body, like you're touching. So like
Bump and grind.
it's a bump and grind.
Nuts to
Absolutely.
butts.
So yeah, in LA, like nobody has jobs, so nobody was going to work anyway. Everybody's just like taking pictures of their butts and posting it online and getting money for it somehow. I haven't figured it out, but like
We in the Midwest are appreciative.
Yeah. Thank you. We do thank you.
it's our greatest export.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I really, I don't know. I almost was just about to like chime in with like, well, actually, but I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know.
Actually, the GDP of California is not butts.
Yeah.
It's avocados minus butts plus hemp.
It's actually
necklaces.
cheese. It's cheese. A lot of people think Wisconsin's a dairy state. It's actually California. Wait.
So, yeah. As for the first question, when everything's going to open, man, I think, what do I know? Here's like some guy who cares what he thinks, but like maybe like mid-May to late May, early June.
Well, that's your timeline, right? I mean, it's not what would you know, but that's kind of what you guys are banking on because that's what you've been told, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's extended for sure through the end of April, and what is expected is that it's going to go through mid to late May. Everything is going to start to like thaw out, and people are going to start to come out into the streets. People are going to start to go back to work slowly. That whole thing, it's going to turn back on late May, like mid to late May, early June. But what's interesting is this whole city is full. Like it's a city. The whole I don't know if it's the same in other like Orange County or San Francisco or whatever. The whole city's full of a bunch of poor people who moved here. And when I say poor, I mean like their parents have money, but they don't. And so like the whole, like there's thousands of people that live here or that have like come to try and make it who like had service industry jobs.
yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
To make. And I know personally, I think I've lost count. I think I'm up to 5 or 6 people that I know personally. And that's not even the demographic that I've like run with much, but I know those people who have left already. Like my gym trainer, gone. A person who was working in the film industry, gone. Like all these, like a bunch of people who were like check to check or freelancers, gone. They like went home, went back to somewhere safer.
I don't know why the fuck I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
and the restaurants. I mean the restaurant bar industry and what is every, aspiring actor or anybody working to crack their way into the industry? What are they doing to supplement their income? They're bartenders, servers, right? I mean
that's what the movie Swingers was all about, man. He's like,
she's a Dorothy.
He's like, man, I got a job as Goofy, man.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? He's like, I'm Goofy. I told my mom I'm
it was
for Walt
Rob.
Disney.
I just watched that.
It was Rob.
Yeah, but
I
forget his
Office
name.
Space.
Yeah,
whatever. But yeah, dude. So that everybody just left, right? I mean, how can you afford?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. There was like a huge exodus. Like I was listening to a friend talk about like coming into the airport, and like all the people just like you can always like you can't always tell, but you can tell like the demographic of people leaving Los Angeles was like mid-20s to early 30s, like clearly here to model, act, like do the whole thing. And they're just like, and they're like suitcases packed up, they're leaving, they're gone. And like, will they come back? Eventually I think they will, but like when it turns back on again, it's like those of us who like have, like don't live in that world, like what happens to the baristas and the servers and the bartenders? And
dude, you just accidentally stumbled on something we've talked about a couple of times. And how often do you see the big fishes in the small pond? In the 10 years you've been out there, the big fishes in the small pond come out to LA and then become the basically minnows in the ocean out there. Do you see that much? We've talked about before. We've just in BS, and we've talked about guys who are the most funny, the
best
cute
looking,
dudes
yeah.
and all this. And like
Yeah.
they're crushing it in their
High school
their
or
high
whatever,
school,
yeah.
and they go out there. And dude, how like is that just like a daily? You just have a certain
Cannot contain
dude. He
himself.
can't even
Like,
wait. And
they're so entitled.
I'm gonna finish this long sentence because you can't even wait to say anything. I'm gonna finish a super long run-on sentence, but dude, do you just have a certain park bench that you go to where you watch these certain guys show up at, or
Yeah.
what? Okay, you can go now.
dude, oh my gosh, so I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna answer it with a caveat, and the caveat is that I'm like because I don't know who listens to this.
Plenty of people.
Yeah,
Chris, we're talking
like-
at least
92.
92
We're
people.
talking at least this many.
Gosh, I can't even describe how accurate that is. It's like there's like cliche, and then there's like cliches in life. You're like, well, that's not true. That's like there's like there's a margin of error and truth in there. No, absolutely not. This place is so full, so full of like that guy, that girl.
Have they not
It's
gotten the
so-
memo,
so-
or like
Dude,
what?
Dude, everybody thinks that they're gonna be the one because they have the wind in their sails of everybody in their community telling them, "You're the one. Make us proud." Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. They say I can do it. They say I'm the best. No,
is
guys.
Dude.
Yep. Anybody?
Yep.
super. It's true. It's true. Like they're the prettiest, the smartest, the brightest, funniest in like Ames, Iowa. Sorry, Iowa. Love you.
Ames.
Oh, sorry, James. Jesus Christ.
James, Iowa. That does sound like a
James,
studio.
No,
Iowa.
we know a dude named James from Ames. Would you take it easy? Take it easy.
James from
James like, oh, Clue's got a podcast. No, Chris. Piece of shit. These guys know what the hell they're
Yeah, but
talking about. Yeah.
James from Ames didn't leave Ames to come here to like bring his like brightest.
Dude, so
No,
what
sure.
is like the life cycle of from like show up in LAX to like being number one? How's that life cycle work? And how
Dude,
fast is it?
It's changed since I got here. So like when I got here, Uber wasn't a thing, and like all the like the gig economy stuff wasn't. So like if I wanted to survive, I had to get a job. Like somebody had to hire me. I couldn't just like download an app and be like, there, I'm employed. See?
Oh, yeah.
I'm my own
that-
boss.
Yeah. So, money. Like money. Here it is on my phone. That was easy. Like so that has prolonged the life cycle for sure for people. When I first got here, it was like I would meet somebody and then like you become really good friends, and then like in like 6 months they're gone, like long gone. And I totally understand that. I left here twice to go home because I was like straight up like not just broke, but like sold everything, and then went broke again, and then like got broke even further, and then like sold my car and bought a scooter, and then sold the scooter for a freaking plane ticket home because that was like the giving tree had come to a stump, and it was like I was done.
That's a great analogy.
Twice, and and like both times I like went home long enough to like save enough money, like working for, I literally was like in my 30s, almost 30. I was like 29, raking leaves for my mom's elderly friends for money so I could have gas money to get back to LA. Like that was, all my friends were like graduating college and like with masters and starting families, and like other people.
Yeah, we all have them. We all have masters.
That's cool. Everybody's like got families and jobs and lives, like insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah. Wait, so what do you think like differentiates someone that like makes it there for like 5+ years than or someone that just like flames out?
Community, the community of people that they're in.
Just
like, that's
connections.
My hands down answer.
I think
What's
he's
that?
talking about friends. I think he's talking about just having like a
A fan, yeah.
no. Like you
Like
asked
the
him,
people that like make it there for sure.
Yeah, he said community. You said connections, but you're talking like the people you have around you, like your friends, right? Just a group of friends,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Because you got to stay
The people
grounded
that-
out there. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, you might lose your mind. Yeah, for sure. If you're like by
Yeah,
yourself,
and, like-
isolated out there. Yeah.
Yep. You need people to, like, the people who I see make it, and whatever make it means. I don't like, not everybody's gonna be like the A-list, but like the people who like are doing what they love to do and enjoying their lives and like paying their bills with art are like the people who one have like relentless tenacity. That's one. Like they don't have quit in them, or they have like a vision that they're fighting for. And then the other thing is that if they have like good people around them, and like the biggest complaint here, like all the cliches can be true. Like the biggest complaint is this place is super lonely because everybody's in it for themselves and trying to like it's basically just a city that's like
There's
living
no
high
true
school.
love. Yeah. Like there's no true community.
Well, it's a classic like fucking Star Wars scenario where, I mean, Mark Hamill got the job as Luke Skywalker, and he was like roommates with Harrison Ford or some shit at the time. Like, they're like, you could be up for the same role with 3 guys in your own apartment that you guys are fighting for your own rent check, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
like
it's real.
that's
Dude,
wild.
that shit probably happens all the time. Yeah, yeah. So, and what is making it out there? Like, I mean, making it is probably like, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful city.
Well,
Like, it's a cool area. Everybody wants to be out there. Like, make it. It's probably just like being able to survive and pay your bills. Like, that's the first step, right? So, like, Chris, how much sifting through just like fake ass bullshit did you have to do before you? I mean, you had friends out there already, kind of. I mean, obviously you did because I moved you into Sam's closet when you first went out there. But so we do have friends out there, but I just would imagine that there's so like everything we were talking about with like the small fish and the big fish,
small
big
pond.
something, small something.
Yeah. Like you have so much of the superficial and all that kind of stuff, like. But you've never had a hard time finding like a pretty solid core group of people that's just like down to hang out and even just having that and like getting together as a group once in a while probably just keeps everybody like grounded and humble going through just such a wild experience, right? Because like the entertainment industry, especially in LA, is just like so insane. There's nothing normal about it. So to have like a group of people that can all like kind of bust each other's balls and let their hair down a little bit where you don't have to put on this fake fucking act, right, to impress whoever might be watching is probably absolutely crucial to surviving out there.
It's so crucial that it's like what also happens is when one goes, many like it brings the rest with them in a way of like, it's not like, oh, we open up doors for everybody, but there is an element of that. Like there's no way I would have been doing what I'm doing if it weren't for the people that gave me a shot, and they gave me a shot because they knew me, were friends with me, trusted me, and like they did me a favor, and so like that favor got me in, and then like who will get you in, like that's just the way it is. And like,
that's
the other thing is like
that's anything.
So is it? Can I
Totally.
coin? Can I coin a term here? Can I say friend working? instead of networking?
Instead of networking?
Can I, is that already a thing out there? Am I way behind?
No, that's not a thing. Friend working.
Is that too weird? Friend working, networking, net friending.
You know what's net friending? That's what we're all doing now. You know what? Like, we can go with it. Yeah, actually, that's fine. I think it's fine. Like most of, like, I was having a conversation with the CEO of our firm, and I said, like 100% of my income in the last 10 years, 100% of it has come because of one particular group of people that I surrounded myself with the first week that I was in Los Angeles. The very first week. Like, and that's, and I started to try and prove myself wrong. And like every opportunity I've had, like, it didn't happen quick. It took years, but like, I started to realize like 100% of everybody that can be traced back to, chain linked back to somebody in that specific community of people that I came up with. And I'm like, man, like if we could understand that and then just start investing in ourselves, and like, I would like, so I say like, find the best people that you can have access to and then make your home among them. Cause like a place is only as good as the people you're with. So like LA is great.
Amen.
Like, I've been to some really cool places on earth and been there with either people I'm not stoked with, or like been there alone, or like there's like one or two of us that are cool, but like it's just us. And like I moved away from New York. There's amazing people in New York, but like I wasn't committed to the cold. But I came back to LA just because like this is where all the people that I want to be with are. And then I was like, I just need to get all of the New Yorkers to like move to LA, and then I'll be good. But yeah, like it's like money comes from community, but it's not like why you do it. It's just like the community of people that you roll with matters. And like now I have like one of my best friends, one of my longest, closest friends is working as the number 2 person of like one of the biggest companies in entertainment in the world. It is like right there, and has been like, what do you need? What are you looking for?
Basically, Ari Gold.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even have an answer. I'm like, let me just like collect myself so I can come correct, and then I'll make requests and whatever. So the last, like the other part to that same, which is like, it feels like a long conversation, but like the other part to that whole thing is like, yeah, people come here, they get chewed hard. Yeah. And there's like a lot of them do not make it. And even if they stay like physically present, they're tore up. It, like emotionally, like they're just tore up.
Self-esteem.
Like, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. They just get destroyed, like mentally and physically. Yeah. Sometimes.
I can't imagine the pressure you must put on yourself going out there. You probably have no idea how hard it's going to be. You're not thinking that there's an infinite amount of people just like you that are coming out there every single year. And not to discount, and that's not to deter anybody from trying anything, right? But it's just like, it is an impossible grind. And again, not that it's not worth doing, but like, what, all that pressure, not only that you're putting on yourself, but you probably get out there realizing how hard it is, and then you have all the pressure from everybody back home.
You don't want to go back there.
Has all their faith in you to make it happen. Like, it's rough. Yeah. So, I mean, and not to take it to a dark place again, but I mean, what are people willing to do to like, that probably gets scary too. Just like, you probably it's probably easy to lose your mind and get caught up in.
Well, you get people at the end of their rope, and that's when they're willing to do that stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you're probably, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It also like the whole industry just attracts a certain personality a lot of the times too, which is like, and like different personalities have different propensities towards different things, and like that's so like I've always called this place a pressure cooker. It's like whatever is on the inside, it's like it's gonna come out. It's like it's gonna show you real quick what's on the inside. You got like, so if there's like if you got good in you, like good is gonna come out, because there's like as much like craziness is here. There's so much like impact and good and like good-hearted people doing amazing things, and like if you don't have like it's like money's an amplifier, and like you get a lot of it, you're going to find out what kind of character you are. And LA's, and I think any, but in this context, like this industry, this city, it's like it's an amplifier. It's gonna pull out what's already in you, good and bad. So it's like if you're prepared for that, or at least have some like good people around you to help you sort through the bullshit, like, and like sort through your own bullshit, then, and like people who are not impressed with you but love you anyway, it's like that's a game changer,
dude.
So,
and how many people don't have that to lean on? So it's just
so many people.
Yeah,
so many people. And I'm wondering too, I'm really curious about like what happens when this whole thing is over and everybody realizes how like this happened to me. Like I'm like very keenly aware of like how isolated I live my life now, like because I'm working and doing like I'm like doing the thing, and anytime I want like a social hit, like anytime I want like a dopamine hit of social activity, like
you have to do your
I can
friend's
just
shitty
get it.
podcast. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can just like hit up like 3 or 4 people and be like, hey, you guys want to go out? Like let's like I can pack my social calendar, and now I'm like realizing like, oh, like a lot of those like bonds and like friendships and community that I had that meant so much are like really, really dry or like waning. And it's like, it's like been like super hard for me. And actually a lot of people, like when it's like, you can't just like go out and like get a quick fix of friendship. And you're like realizing, oh man, like I'm like probably one of the most connected, very like communal, like fight for friendship people. And I'm like feeling bone dry during this time, being like, man, like I have not been investing well in the people I love at all for like years, probably, because I've been focused on work and whatever. And like, and everybody is like cool with it because that's what we're here to do. Right. And
yeah.
So now it's like when the fucking world stops spinning and you're just kind of sitting there, you're like, oh, what do I have? What's going on? What have I not been?
Well, it brings everything you've been doing down to, it brings you back to reality. Like what is really important,
Right.
What were you putting priorities on and us as a whole, not just you personally, like us as a whole, what were we putting priorities on? And it really allows you to shift your priorities, and you say, hey, this wasn't that important, because as soon as the stuff really hit the fan, this all went away. And everything that was really important to me was what was close to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I to just piggyback on that, I think that can kind of be a two-way thing. The other way, too, is like, now that everything has just stopped, and I mean, I've had to close a business, and it's, we find ourselves, we're at home, and it's awesome to have the family time, and we are kind of having now, like, the luxury of being bored. It's like, what do we do? You don't want to get sick of each other, but it's a two-way street. And then it's like, okay, like, wow, there's so much, like, what really matters? What if you're looking for like a deeper meaning in life, like, well, this is the time to find it. Like, what have I been doing with my time? But at the same time, I've totally learned how fulfilling my business was and how much I enjoyed it, and a huge part of my business is interaction with people and conversation and, the one-on-one time with people, and, taking everything kind of back to baseline where we really are now forced, what they want us to do is spend time with just our immediate family. And it's not like that's been, super brutal or unbearable or anything, but that is like bare bones, like what life is about, right? I mean, I don't know. Am I getting a little too corny here?
It's a classic case of you don't know what you got till it's gone.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. and for like tons of people who moved here or any city, like New York is another one, London's another one, like anybody who moved to a city to like fight for a career in a like a crazy industry where the odds are stacked against them. Like we didn't build a family. Like we don't have like
Oh,
I'm gonna hang
yeah,
up
right.
with this, and it's gonna be a quiet fucking house.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
so I'm aware of like how much, like, yeah, I'm just like super aware where I've never been, not never, I haven't been as like conscious of the fact of like how alone I've like been isolated, like slowly isolating myself for like, if anything like blows up, like this, I'm like, oh man, like the lights just went out. And it's like, so now I'm like going like, I wonder how this is going to, like, there's so many people that are so lonely right now. They've been lonely the whole time. We just didn't know it.
Yeah, dude. I was just thinking that exactly, and that's probably why what you were just saying when we kind of kicked off this whole part of the conversation is people that were like, boom, out of a job just like that. You know, your bartenders and servers, and and probably a lot of the people that, you know, were doing total like paycheck to paycheck, doing maybe extra work or whatever. Once production stopped or bars and restaurants got closed, that's probably why they pieced out right away, is because they found what you just said. They found that out in a hurry, because it's like, I got nothing to do. I got nobody here. I have no friend. Like, I'm going back home. Fuck it. I'm out of here. Like, you're still able to work from home. You know, you got a lot of stuff going on out there, and you have friends out there. You know, you do have friends out there. And,
But I do. And it's been fun to like reestablish those connections and friendships. And like, I'm talking to people I haven't talked to in a long time. And yeah, it's been cool, but it's also, just like, man, that's why I say, like, more than anything, it's like the people that you're with is like, screw the place, man. Give me a parking lot in the Midwest somewhere. Like, that's fine.
Just no doubt, man. So do you think, I think one of the biggest things, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, Chris, but do you think this is just a fantastic time for us to be able to reassess our priorities in life? Like, to really just take a mental...
I'm so embarrassed.
Dude, when he gets back, just can you guys like fake tears or something?
Yeah,
or, like,
we're gonna like, we'll literally be like, and nobody will hear anything better than this off, and we'll just shut the computer off. Like, nobody will hear anything better than this. Done.
And then tell him that it didn't record.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you think, like, you know, because he'll be able to pick up in the middle of this, but is this, and with the people that have been calling you lately, is this just a time to really just reassess the priorities that we've been told to put in our lives, and we need to just think differently?
Yeah, well, yeah, man. Like so it's like a great reset. I mean, it's a forced like somebody just came in and tripped on the cord and you didn't save your game. Like, this is like,
that's a nightmare. Right? That's an absolute nightmare for me.
Like,
that's
yeah, but like, you loved building it in the first place. You loved like getting there in the first place, and it's like, yeah, like all the accomplishment might have like evaporated in a moment, but you still are that person. You still have that you can rebuild. Like, think but like for reassessing, like people only. Like, people change for one of two reasons. It's because the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the pain of growth or change, or because of vision. And most people wait until they're in so much pain before they change. Like, so is it an opportunity to reset? Absolutely. Is it an opportunity to reassess? And like, the opportunity's been there the whole fucking time. The only difference is, like, now the pain is greater. And so people are going to transform, they're going to change, they're going to reassess because they're in pain. What would be amazing to see is that people go like, hey, these opportunities were here the whole time. This business that I can start, this family that I can connect with, like this slowing down that I can, like, all of that's, like, all of these priorities like that you're reassessing, that was always available.
Yeah.
And like what the invitation is, at least like with like clients I'm working with and stuff, is like we don't want to wait until there's pain to transform, to like have vision and move. It's like transformation is a painful and violent process as we're finding out. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And, but like, what is a vision for me? I'm like, I want to help people transform, like, not wait until the pain is great to have a vision that's worth the pain of reassessing and like moving forward and changing. So I think that's probably the way I'd answer that.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's very similar. You don't get off the interstate until your exit. You know, why not get off earlier, or why not pass your exit and get off on a different one? You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, that's I think how I'd say that is like, is it a perfect time to? This is no different than anything else in life. It is 100% what we make it. Like, that's it. So, like, for me, it's like, if I go down, I'm gonna go down serving. That's what I say. Like, I'm gonna be like hanging out with people and like making sure I can get like.
You can be popping and locking, or
like,
what? Like,
oh, dude, popping and locking for sure.
Like serving.
You got
people?
served.
Serving people.
Serving
Just,
people.
you got served.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, you got served. You have been served, sir.
Sir. Yeah, man. That's what I think. But what do I know? You know, I'm just trying to like hang out, and do my best. But yeah, I think the opportunity's been there the whole time. It's just now we all get to see it, like a radio wave. Like, we can finally it's been there the whole time. It's just like finally tuning in. So
those are some wise words, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can see why people come to you for advice, man.
I don't know.
I don't think there's any other way we could end this.
I mean, I was just
honestly,
gonna say it now.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, I thought we were like gonna go for another half
Dude,
hour.
but
I
that
walk
was
out of
like-
the room just during the pure fire.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we were.
I came
yeah.
back just to go. All right, I think that's about it. I think that's it for our time right now. Okay, this has gone long enough.
Dude, this is what I gotta say. This though, the Brickview, the Brickview podcast studio is looking legit. Why is this a video podcast yet? You guys are.
Dude, it's
We've tried
This is green
multiple.
screen.
Yeah, we're
multiple.
Oh, got it.
No, man, this is
That
this is
door
not
looked so real when he went through it.
Oh yeah, no.
like the Kool-Aid man. Yeah. No, man. Yeah, dude, this is you haven't been here since it was I guess
Well,
I'll
it
give you a
wasn't
little
anything when I was
virtual
there.
tour. No, there was still crap all over the floor. And, yeah, this is a Brickview podcast studio right now for the time being, for at least the next 30 days. So
Yeah, I've been waiting the last couple of times we've been in here. I've been waiting for like the cops to knock on the door and be like, "You tattooing it?"
yeah, exactly. Yeah, or like, hey, 6 feet, 6 feet, assholes. Which we are. We are all 6 feet apart. Just so anybody listening.
Well, those
we are 6
flamingo
feet
arms
apart.
look like it's like fucking really close.
Flamingos don't have arms, Dustin. Nice try. Those are my
It's a
orangutan.
It's a flamingo human hybrid.
Yeah.
I gotta know, what is your favorite meme? What is your favorite coronavirus meme that you've seen so far?
I don't know any coronavirus memes anymore because my phone is only filled with Tiger King memes.
I saw. Okay, I mean, this is just probably the last one I saw that I kind of laughed at, and I think I probably sent to my wife while she was probably 4 feet away from me. It was like, it was the dog, like the weird looking kind of like cross-eyed dog with like a turtleneck on and glasses, and it said, "Me when I refer to the Rona as COVID-19."
I said COVID-19 instead of the Rona.
Yeah. That one's pretty solid.
Dude, this was my favorite one. Put this up to the screen. This was my favorite Corona one.
Oh wait, hold on. There.
The Sasquatch social
social
distancing world champion
one.
Sasquatch.
I
That's my
love that
favorite
one.
one.
I posted that one, and then I said, because it said world champion, and then I posted one of a spacewalk at the ISS of like an astronaut doing a space, said social distancing champion of the universe.
The universe, nice. That's awesome.
So eat your heart out, Sasquatch. Mine was, I think mine were I think it was a series of T-Rex ones. The T-Rex couldn't wash his hands.
Very similar to the T-Rex not being able to make a bed.
like, Rex, wash your hands. I fucking can't.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I haven't even seen that. I can't believe I haven't seen that.
Oh, that's funny.
Dude, but literally, if you look at my photos on my phone, like,
Screenshots.
dude, these are all screenshots, but the first 20 of them, Tiger King memes.
Oh man, that guy
Just
loves
captured
Tiger
off
King.
the
Yeah.
internet. I can't get enough of these fucking things. Like, dude,
If
the
they let
one,
us by Halloween.
dude, the one
I'm
with
definitely.
the one with Joe Exotic putting on an EMS jacket when a trainer gets attacked by a tiger is
Oh,
the biggest
yeah.
flex. That one is my favorite one, where he just like shows up in the EMS jacket. That, oh my god, that one had me just.
Listen,
dying.
before you see it on the news, trainer just got his fucking arm ripped off. Chris, I can't thank you enough for your time. I think this was awesome.
Oh, many
I
thanks,
think-
man. Many thanks.
I think we got off to a slow start. I almost want to apologize for trying to like rope.
Yeah,
into some,
sorry, man.
Pedophile
We
ring
went
talk.
hard
I
in
mean,
there,
we'll
and-
probably do a little, maybe like a pre-episode warm-up intro thing for you. But dude, it's just so good to see you. So good to talk to you. I know like we kind of go in spurts
you
on
guys
like our
do.
text messages and stuff, but that's why, dude, I'm gonna hit Dustin up about the He doesn't even know about the Marco Polo.
No,
We should get a little throw
Yeah,
him on
that'd
the
be
chats too,
fantastic.
man.
That'd be fun.
I think that's a
Get
great
there.
way to keep in touch with each other. So
I was actually kind of happy to be able to go through my first. What do they call that? The sun, where the sun sets, the golden hour. Is that what that's called? The golden.
Golden hour?
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, go.
Oh yeah, because I kind of saw the sunset in your window. You know, I just kind of saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I kind of experienced my first golden hour there with you. So thank you for that.
yes, and
right.
you're
I'll-
welcome, Chris.
I wish I could. Can you do like the heart? Can I do like that heart eyes?
Yeah, so I was very happy to go through that.
Yeah,
I'm like
Yeah.
slowly turning the brightness up on my laptop so you can see me.
Chris. Chris,
Are you there?
golden hour, more like golden.
I turned the
Shower.
light on. Dude, you guys are awesome. This was super fun. Thanks for hanging out. I will say this: there are at least 2 or 3 people that you should definitely have on this podcast if you want to talk about some conspiracy, crazy Hollywood stuff.
Dude.
Oh my
Get
god.
them our way.
Dude,
Yes,
send them.
yep.
Dude, just
Dude,
send them right to John. Get their info to John.
Yeah,
ASAP.
please, right away.
Right now, please.
Dude,
Get them.
I will do that, and I will 100% be on that. I will put myself on mute, but I will watch the chaos unfold.
Yes.
Because-
Awesome.
Dude, okay,
Awesome.
send them, please,
Yeah,
Chris.
awesome.
I will
Do it.
text me right away. Okay, please get me because, dude, this is all I got. This is, I mean, and my family, of course, but I don't. We're trying to. I'm trying to utilize this time
Look on
for
Jack's
podcasting.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what I meant. I meant like we got some time. So, dude, it's just we're trying to utilize
Anything
the
you want us
space.
anything you want us to blast out? Put links in the bio for, or links in the show notes or anything.
Oh man, thanks. The Dark Arrows is like my everything right now. Dark Arrows, and then obviously, you know what actually is cool is like I do like anybody who like is in leadership of any kind or like runs a company or is in management or something. I really would love to talk to them if they're working through it, because like I get to here's like an offline flex. Is like I get to work with leaders of companies of like $50 billion companies with thousands of employees to navigate this shit show right now, and like people who are just hired people and are like now going like, what do we do? And people who are like the conversations I'm having, and they're not like chaos and like they're not crazy. They're like this is like, how are we going to pivot and create something totally new? Like they're super encouraging. So I've been able to like help with that, and like the donation side of stuff. Like I don't know what an executive coach is or anything like that. That's totally fine. But like I'm going to keep these donation sessions going. One, it like helps me stay sane instead of just walking from room to room in my house. And 2 is like it helps me raise money for people who like really on the ground like actually are worried about what tomorrow is going to bring. I get to like secretly Venmo them through a friend, being like, hey, somebody gave me this to give to you, and like anonymously give them thousands of dollars so they can like
That's badass.
just like have a
That's
like
pretty
a-
fucking badass,
Yeah.
dude. Well, dude, if there's like,
So-
dude, you just need to hit John with the links that you want posted, and then we'll get those posted on the on the show
Nice.
notes. And we'll put them out, man.
Yeah, dude, we'll try to get this out like right away. Maybe tomorrow. Or
We're 24 hour. Within 24 hours we got this thing up, man. We're on it.
Yeah.
I should say David Klug is
guys-
on it, but
Yeah, big shout outs to
Shout out to-
Dave Birds.
yeah,
Shout out to David Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, yeah, I'll send. Pretty much all exists on the gram anyway, so there's nothing. Yeah, I'll send you that, and then I will. I'm gonna make some phone calls and get you guys.
Yes,
Oh, awesome.
dude,
I'll
that
send
would
you-
be
I'll send you
fantastic.
some. I'll send you some characters who
Yeah.
are some of my favorite people.
That's great.
Dude, I
Dude,
love it.
thank you so much, Chris.
Dude, we
Dude, it's
really
been awesome
appreciate it,
catching up with
man.
you. Yeah.
Dude, many thanks, brother. Many thanks, man.
Yeah, this was great. All right.
Same to
Yep.
you.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Love you,
All right,
Chris.
hey,
Yeah.
stay safe out
Love you
there,
guys.
dude. Stay safe out there,
Yeah,
man.
see it.
All right, bye.
Peace. Bye.